Hello, everybody. This is Max Farrow, and this is the DEX MDM 5-minute core system. And I wanted to quickly show you just a couple of things here on Nadex. And you have an account here, you have a demo account, you've gone through that process, you're ready to go now on getting a little bit of an overview of what the 5-minute series is. So there's a lot of things that Nadex offers. But one of the things that we're going to be using here is this 5-minute binary system right here. Okay. Now it only offers the 4 pairs, as we already know, right? AUD USD, Euro USD, British Gold Pound USD, and USD JPY. So what we want to talk about right now, let's just click on the first one, AUD JPY, and it's going to bring up a statement. Now we just hit this right to where these 5 pairs, these 5 statements, as we like refer to them, they're gone, right? They're already ended. The new ones have already started. Okay. Now, when this happens, usually these other ones disappear, just like they are right now. They've closed out, usually about 30 seconds in, okay? Now, when the pair first starts off at the top of the 5-minute, the statement, which reads AUD USD greater than 7633 by 1225, you're choosing whether or not the statement is false or true, right? The bid side is the false side. The true is the offer side, okay? So, and depending on at that time period when you first get in, when the first minute hits, the 5-minute mark hits, and the new statements come up, it's usually always in the middle. The middle is the one where it's at when it first comes up. So as it progresses up or down or in the sell direction or a buy direction, you'll see that there won't be as much money left on the middle one. It'll sort of dissipate and go. If it's shooting down, the top ones there'll be hardly anything here for market price in here, okay? So the breakdown here, of course, for this process that you have the statement, you have the time period of expiry, you have the time left, you have the date of expiry, you have the bid size, which is how many contracts are made available for each one. And you see there's not a lot, right? But you know what? If I were to buy all 20, I'm pretty sure they'll put another 20 in there. Market makers are famous for keeping the low bid there because they want people to buy them up. Supply and demand, baby, right? Okay, so the bid side, which is usually the sell side or the false side of the statement, right? Because we're going to prove it wrong. We're going to say if we choose the false side on the sell side, that it's going to be lower than 7633, okay? And this is where we get into, so we have the bid size and we have the offer size. Now, this is how many contracts are available on either side, all right? Now, if you see a dash, that means that there's no price available, and of course, there's not going to be any offer sizes. Sometimes you might see an odd number in here, but you know it's usually from another trader. There's 2 types of systems happening here. There's direct trader to trader, like if you and me were trading and you put in a contract and I put in a contract for the opposite, we would be actually trading against each other. And there's also market makers, and this is where Nadex has asked independent people with money, with lots of money, corporations usually, to come on board and supply trades for traders that are coming to the site. So if I were to come and there would be no other direct traders to trade with, they'll actually try to help fill the contracts. But the market makers have some cause for, to battle with you, and they get some extra cash, right? Where do they get the extra cash from? Well, it's between the bid and the offer. If you see there's a difference in price, that $11 to $12 that's there per contract, they get that prior to. So they get that little rush there. So they get a couple extra bucks in there, right? Because we're paying a little bit more. The other person's paying on the other side, and there's a difference between the two. That's what the market maker gets. Now, Nadex only gets $1 per contract in and $1 per contract out, unless there's a loss. If I lose, I don't have to pay the dollar contract out. But if I win, I have to pay the dollar contract out. So really, they get about $3 per every single trade that goes out, which is not too bad, right? Okay. So a little bit more information about what the statement is. If I want to get into the sell side, okay, but the indicative price is higher and is proving the statement correct, but I'm looking to go the other way, then this would be considered OTM or out of the money. If I was saying that I wanted to go with the statement and prove it right, then I would be in the money, okay? Now, also, if the statement is between, if the indicative price is between this statement and this statement, that's considered at the money. As soon as it passes this statement, it's now just in the money. All right, I hope that makes sense. That's what we were trying to explain before. Now, if I decide that I want to click on this, now it's within the last 30 seconds, so usually there's not a contract left. So these that are usually here are from other traders. Okay, so as it comes out, it's going to finish out here just above. So the winning statement was 7633. This is that winning statement, so if you had that one. So now that you see, as soon as the signal comes out, you're going to be looking for the new trade about to happen, right? So what we're going to choose, there's no indicative price here. You might have to refresh your screen. Sometimes that happens on the demo. Okay, I'm going to hit that back in again. Shouldn't take you too long, so you should know how to navigate. Okay, 7633. I'm going to choose that the statement's going to be true, and this is going to bring up your ticket, okay? And your ticket's very important because as it's moving, it's always moving, right? It's always moving. You got to make sure you know which side you're going to be on. Make sure you have a contract size in there. I'll show you in another video how to make that default and hit place order. Now, sometimes it's going to drop it right down here because the price has been moving very quick. So you got to kind of open it back up, click on the buy side, which way you wanted to go, and there it is. Now I got in. Now I got in for $71.25 on the buy side, okay? Which means I have about a $28.75 profit possibility, okay? So keep that in mind. You want to be above 30 in most cases in these trades. Try to be between $35 and $45 because we're going at the monies. We're going when the price is a little bit at the money. So what happens when we get here and the indicative price is in the money, but it's not at the money anymore? It's a little bit higher. So it's still at the money. It's like it's between 35. You see it's between 35, but the number here is really not very good. Well, you can choose to take the lower ITM. Like if it's right now at 80, I wouldn't touch this thing with a 10-foot pole. But because I got $28, I'm okay with that. I'm okay. So you got to find out what you're going to be okay with for that risk value, okay? Because it's not always going to be way ITM. You're not going to be, 2 or 3 pips in and be able to get that, if you're just trying to come here. So if you just get here now, this is not something I would buy into because it doesn't have a good profit margin to it. Remember, creating a good profit margin is what's going to save you past the drawdown, right? Because if you're getting them for $28 and $30 and $40, if you have one loss, it's only going to take you a couple of wins to make that money back and be profitable. Okay, so now we know what the statements are. Now each statement has a different pip range. Okay, this one is 2 pips between each statement. There are some that are a little bit more. There's 2. British Gold Pound, there's 2 as well. USD JPY, there is 2. Now, in certain cases, when a heavy news pack is happening or there is just a lot of stuff going on, maybe the market's really, really slow, these pip ranges may change to 2 to 4 and sometimes even 5. I've seen the British Gold Pound USD hit 5 and 10 before, so be very careful and just pay attention to those things. Learn how to read this as soon as you get here and become very proficient with learning how to read it from the beginning. A lot of learning is going to happen once you just start using the system. So I hope this helps out. This is just going to give you a little bit. I'm just going to pause the video here and come back in a minute 32 just so you see the progression of the trade. This wasn't an actual trade. I was showing you for incidences to it, but let's see what happens. Now, remember that in this process, as we're waiting, we're sitting, we're watching this beautiful green money happening right in front of our faces. And then something like this happens, minus 21, right? And we're scared crapless because it's below 30 seconds. Now, what happens is that all the market makers pull all of their available trades because they don't want to have anybody filling in the last second to be winning the trade. So they're going to pull all their stuff off, which leaves everybody else that has some sort of wild number in there. So that's why this profit loss statement will get kind of crazy here. It's not them trying to trick us really, which I found out, have come to agree with, is that all of that stuff disappears. When they pulled all their trades, it's left with the regular market in there, and those are the people who have crazy trades in there. And you can kind of see that was a winner. Now that was an at the money decision. We went at the money on the indicative price, but the price itself was a little bit for the market price, because remember, the indicative price and the market price and profit price, they're all three relative in conjunction information that you got to have, right? So it has to be that if the indicative price is above, like in this particular case, we're looking at a sell. So this at 46 would still be an at the money, in the money price. And if I were to put one contract in there and hit place order, it immediately went down there and there it got filled, right? Because I'm getting it at the money, I'm doing it on the sell, right? I'm getting a very good price. That's 46 bucks. So there's a possibility that if it goes a little bit far out of the money, it's still going to have a lower profit margin, but it's still going to kind of remain the same. Now, again, this wasn't a trade that I normally would do. I'm just showing you getting in on either side. So if you get a good direction, you're to the website and you're looking for the at the money price on your direction and on one that you're close to. Don't buy them for more than $45 in profit, because that's considered an OTM or out of the money possibility, which you're going to end up losing a lot more than winning. Okay. All right. So that's basically it. I just wanted to kind of show you some of that stuff and on Nadex and how to navigate just a little bit better. And if you have any questions, reach out to some of the senior traders in the room or Mike Ficca or myself. Have a great day. See you soon. And as always, trade well.